rainy day in Valdez. We got here last night and the rain clouds moved in and they're here to stay for the next 5 days. Unfortunately, Valdez, in my opinion, is the most beautiful coastal town in Alaska. All around us, you can see mountains, glaciers, waterfalls. The water is blue. It's a beautiful harbor here. But when the rain moves in and the clouds roll over the mountains, you can barely see any of it. But we're still gonna make the most of it and explore a little bit, even in the rain and the cold. We are on a mission to get a hot bowl of chowder and some coffee, because that sounds really good right now.
Yeah, and then hopefully the rain stops and it clears up, but probably not gonna.
I don't think it will. It's showing rain for 5 days.
Yeah, it just rains a lot here. Just kind of enjoying the boats and the rain and the fishing scene going on.
So unfortunately they were out of their chowder. So we got a basket of their garlic rosemary fries and I can smell them out here. It smells so good. And we got their pulled pork po' boy, which is pulled pork sandwich pretty much. So let's try it. Oh yes.
That's actually a lot of fries.
Whenever we're out
Yeah.
that smells really good. That's the pulled pork po' boy. Let's try the fries. That's a lot of fries for $8.
This pulled pork sandwich was $15.
Yeah.
And it's just normal size, not huge or anything.
Okay, let's
Because
try.
we got the po' boy in New Orleans, yeah, for 15. That one was like,
That one was really good.
It was humongous. It was like that long and like huge.
Watch
Yeah.
our New Orleans videos for
Yeah.
that one. Anyway, let's try this. Crunchy. When you get a piece of the garlic, it's so good.
We got the basket, not just a side.
Yeah, get like a piece of garlic.
Oh yeah.
It's a really strong smoky flavor on the pulled pork.
But that's really smoked and really good. You have a really nice smoky flavor. The cabbage on top also has like a nice mixture in there. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's really
really
good.
good actually, yeah.
There were salmon everywhere, swimming this way, going that way, when all of a sudden, now, if fish do have memories, all of those memories came back. When they looked into each other's weird, bulgy eyeballs.
Hey, hold on a minute here.
We stopped by at Magpies on the Fly for some lattes and they had a show. We were there just in time at 7 o'clock when the show was starting, so we decided to stay for the hour show. And it was a nice way to spend a rainy evening in Valdez. There's nothing much else to do on a rainy day. But it's time for us to head back and warm up because I feel really cold.
My coat's pretty much almost all wet.
All right, let's head back to the camper. watched our Dalton Highway series of videos where we drove all the way to Prudhoe Bay, you know that we followed the Alaska pipeline on the Dalton. The Alaska pipeline actually ends here in Valdez, so it travels the 800 miles from Prudhoe Bay to Valdez. The Alaska pipeline was actually history's largest privately constructed project. So it was constructed from 1969 to 1977, and there's a statue here in Valdez in honor of the thousands of men and women who were part of the construction of the Alaskan pipeline. So you can see those giant tankers behind me across the bay is where they store all the oil until it ships out. You might recognize the name Valdez for the 1980s oil spill that happened here in this area, where a tanker, the Exxon Valdez, ran on a reef. 11 million gallons of crude oil spilled into the water. It took years to clean up, and they're actually still monitoring that today. So in those tankers back there, that's all oil from Prudhoe Bay that's in storage, waiting to be shipped out on giant tankers out on the water. Here in this area on this site, the old town of Valdez stood for 70 years until March 27th, 1964, when a 9.2 magnitude earthquake, the largest in North American history, struck this area. It lasted for 4 minutes and 37 seconds, caused a huge underwater landslide that destroyed most of the town and killed 32 Valdez residents. The entire town was not completely destroyed, but this location was unsafe, so they decided to move the town 4 miles down that way west, where Valdez is today. Here is the slab of the old post office that was here in the old town. It was actually built in 1962, only 2 years before the earthquake. And this is really the only thing that's left of this area of Old Town. Some of the Old Town buildings were moved to the new location, and you can definitely tell when you drive around which ones are the old ones and which ones were built in the 1970s. Although the 50-year development ban expired in 2014, nobody's building anything here. Geologists say it's still unsafe. A sinkhole can develop at any time in this area. So this is one of the buildings that was moved from Old Town Valdez to here. The Valdez Dock Company, yeah. So this Northwind gift shop was the childhood home of the first governor of Alaska, and it was in Old Town Valdez and relocated here to the new location. It's one of the original Old Town Valdez buildings. And you can actually notice them straight away when you drive around because they're from the early 1900s. Everything else here that's new is from pretty much the 1970s when everything was rebuilt after the 1964 earthquake. So you can really tell the age difference between the buildings. This was also one of the old town buildings from the old Valdez location that was moved here. This one also looks from the early 1900s, probably moved here as well. We got some food at the Nat Shack here in Valdez, Alaska. I got the halibut tacos.
And I got the Mission Steak burrito. The tacos were $18 and the burrito was $15. And we got root beer for $2. Let's try that.
Look at that. So the tacos are really fresh, a little bit spicy. The cilantro and the salsa makes it really fresh, and you can taste the fish in there, the halibut. It's really good, yeah. I like how they loaded it up. Look at that. Cause like, remember the fish tacos we had in Seward?
Yeah.
It was like a little piece of fish and some cabbage, and that's
That was
it.
like the worst meal ever.
At least they loaded this up, so and
Yeah.
it's really good, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try my flank steak burrito.
You didn't get anything yet?
Got some beans and rice.
Wait up, he needs to get to the meat.
I like the meat. The meat tastes really good. It's seasoned well.
Personally, I like the tacos more because they're more fresh. This is like, it doesn't have anything fresh in it. It's like a spicy meat, beans, rice. It's still good, but I don't know.
Is it better than Chipotle for you?
Actually, I like the freshness that you can add in the Chipotle.
Chipotle's
Like
pretty
the
good.
tomatoes, and there's nothing, I don't know. I guess I'm just not this kind of burrito person.
Yeah.
a bunch of dead ones here. All this is dead salmon. They're all trying to jump up there. Wow. Oh my God. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. So this might seem really cruel, but this is just the natural life cycle of salmon. They normally live out in the ocean. The only reason why they're here, why they're coming in like this, is to spawn and die. This is the end of their cycle and a new one begins. All of that right here, the sea of white that you see behind me, is all the dead salmon. There's a bunch in the water. They're all trying to get up here to spawn and die. This structure is called a fish weir, defined as a structure to catch or restrict fish movement upstream. It's installed during the summer spawning season only and removed once the salmon migration is over. Fish that you see below the weir are adult pink and coho salmon returning to the hatchery to complete their life cycle by spawning and dying. These fish were spawned, hatched, and released from the hatchery. They have migrated from the Gulf of Mexico waters after spending 1 year there to grow to maturity. The purpose of the weir is to direct the fish into the hatchery system to be artificially spawned. The fish are restricted from swimming further up the Solomon Creek as the spawning and rearing area is not large enough to support the high numbers of fish the hatchery produces. That was the end of our trip to Valdez. It was a nice couple of days, rainy, but at the end the sun did come out here for a little bit to end our trip. Our next stop is going to be Chitna and starting the McCarthy Highway, so stay tuned. If you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to follow the rest of our journey to Alaska. It is coming to an end. There's a bear here crossing the street and the lady just went into the restroom here. We're just going to park here and make sure everything's fine. I don't know if she knows that he's here.
I don't think so.
Okay, he's going down there.
He's a pretty big black bear.
No way. We were planning on heading out from the Solomon Gulch Hatchery at 8 p.m. and then we saw the bear. And then we saw a second bear and we we saw a third bear. So we saw 3 black bears eating their dinner. That was awesome. And that was the most bears that we've seen in Alaska since Prudhoe Bay. I think we saw what? 3 in Prudhoe Bay. Those were all grizzlies, and these were 3 black bears here. So that was it. That was all the bears that we saw in our entire time in Alaska. Not many, but that was definitely an awesome moment.